For the KIN 100 anatomy assignment, I will be going in depth about the muscles in the anterior forearm compartment. The anterior part of the forearm is also known as the flexor compartment, which contains several muscles responsible for flexing the wrist and fingers. These muscles are arranged in three different layers: the superficial, deep, and middle layer. Here's a list and a brief description of the muscles in the anterior part of the forearm. As you can see, we have the symbols SDM portrayed on the slide, showing that these are the superficial, deep, and middle layers, as I mentioned before. So the superficial layer consists of the flexor carpi radialis, flexi carpi ulnaris, palmaris longus, and pronator teres. As per the middle compartment, we have the flexor digitorum superficialis. And lastly, the deep layer consists of the flexor digitorum profundus, flexor pollicis longus, and the pronator quadratus. The flexor carpi radialis is a muscle in the forearm that plays a crucial role in the movement and stability of the hand and wrist. It is one of the primary muscles of the flexor group in the forearm and is located on the anterior side. So the origin of the flexor carpi radialis is a common flexor origin. The muscle then extends along the forearm, running in a slightly diagonal manner, and inserts onto the second metacarpal bones in the hand. It is innervated by the median nerve, which arises from the brachial plexus. The median nerve provides both motor and sensory function to the muscle, enabling it to contract and execute its actions. As per the actions, the primary functions of the muscle is to flex and abduct the wrist. Next, we have the flexor carpi ulnaris. This muscle flexes the wrist and assists in ulnar adduction, which is basically moving the wrist towards the midline of the body. It has two heads of origin, one from the medial epicondyle of the humerus and the other from the olecranon process of the ulna. Also, the posterior shaft of ulna. It inserts onto the pisiform, hook of Hamé, and the fifth metacarpal. Next, the palmaris longus is a small, slender muscle that flexes the wrist and is variably present in the population. When present, it originates from the medial epicondyle of the humerus and inserts into the palmar aponeurosis, which is innervated also by the median nerve. The pronator teres is a muscle that assists in pronating the forearm, which rotates it so the palm faces down, and also flexes the elbow. It originates on the medial epicondyle of the humerus, which is also called the common flexor origin, and also originates at the coronoid process of ulna. This muscle inserts into the mid shaft of the radius and is innervated by the median nerve. In the middle layer, we have the flexor digitorum superficialis. It originates at the common flexor origin and shaft of the radius. It inserts on the middle phalanges of digits at 2, 3, 4, and 5. Innervated by the median nerve, its actions are flexion of all joints in the wrists and hand except for the distal interphalangeal joints. Now diving into the deep layer of the anterior compartment, we have the flexor digitorum profundus. It originates at the interosseous membrane and ulna. It inserts onto the distal phalanges, digits 2, 3, 4, 5. As per the innervation, the medial half of the digitorum profundus is by the ulnar nerve, and the lateral half is innervated by the median nerve. As per the actions, its two actions is wrist flexion and flexion of all the joints in the wrist, hand, including the distal interphalangeal joints. Next, we have the flexor pollicis longus. The origin point is the interosseous membrane and radius. It inserts onto the distal phalanx of the thumb, also innervated by the median nerve, and its action is flexion of all the joints of the thumb. Lastly, we have the pronator quadratus. This muscle assists in pronating the forearm. It is a small square-shaped muscle that originates from the distal ulna and inserts into the distal radius. These muscles are innervated by the median nerve as well, and the action consists of forearm pronation.